voice news.
Good morning, good morning. Did they raise prices on TradingView? I don't remember paying this much on Black Friday. Yeah, I thought it was. I saw like the price without it, and I was like, whoa. It's like almost, it's like 550 or 570 or something. It's crazy.
Fed's Logan says data centers will keep boosting electricity prices. So currently, Fed's Logan is answering questions at an event in Zurich.
All right. They got me. I bought another year. Hmm. So it looks like NQ just rejected the 30-second opening range high and rotated down to our lows again. Nvidia leading down. Um, got this liquidity on NQ below us. 30 seconds to only 15s. I'm hoping that that gives us a trade if you didn't play into these top edges so that we can get something. Pay attention to what happens here as we push into those. Maybe we hold POC value low as resistance and then can get one more leg down on open of new 15 or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to see. Ideally, we would see something like this, right? Where we reject
ECB's
NVIDIA
Pereira,
into
speaking at events
175
in
or
Portugal, says we
176.40,
know we have a more uncertain world.
and then push down to ETH low, giving us our play. See how we react. New 15s have opened. This is where we'd look for that offer if it was going to offer, or we'll flip. As we push into 70 here on NQ, as NVIDIA pushes into 176.40. Okay, well that was immediately profitable. I'm taking off 1 off of 70. Yeah, what's up, club? Yeah, it's just been so reactive off of the gap down yesterday. It's playing pretty well. Might as well use it. Tagged on my short runner there. Watching the video react into our edge again. Might be a flip. We'll see. Just keep an eye on the video. NVIDIA leading down. NQ testing lows again, 50 points off of 70s.
ECB's Muller
with
says
NVIDIA
inflation is
leading.
now being very close to 2%. NVIDIA shares extend intraday decline to 3%.
Tagged into ETH low, wicked, immediately found a bid.
ECB's Muller says inflation likely to be near 2% in the foreseeable future. In 5 minutes' time, expecting comments from Bank of England's Pill, who's speaking about the future of world-leading currencies at a conference in Switzerland.
Okay, well, you guys should be pretty happy with that one. That was an easy one. Now, just move stops down, leave room for runners. We push down into this liquidity fill down at 967. You've now been able to capture 100 points. Let it be. Let it run. Nvidia continues to fall. We continue to go down.
ECB's Pereira says there's a risk of overvaluation in financial markets.
Yeah, this is a great first risk off. Yes, with this being previous day value low. If we can start to hold that, then you should be able to play that down to ETH low. Another 25 points on EOS. It's also your ADR, right? So I'd expect a better retest than this, but at 50s. But we'll see. Nice job, man. The S&P 500 falls nearly 0.3% to a session low. Nicely done, Sauce.
Trump says he's not pulling off sanctions.
Nvidia holding our
Trump
ETH
says he
low,
won't pull off
pushing
Russian
down.
oil sanctions. Seeing some strength coming in seeing some strength coming in through WTI oil. Trump says Thursday is appropriate for a deadline on plan for Ukraine. And ECB's Pereira says the world economy growing sustainably, the euro area less so. Trump says if things are working well, I tend to extend deadlines. ECB's Pereira says ECB monetary policy is appropriate at the moment. Pereira says it's important to have a buffer to act in case of shocks. Trump says Iran wants to make a deal. We probably will make one. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq hit over 2-month low. Sources say Ukraine, France, Germany and the UK are working on a counter-proposal to the US peace plan. and Trump's interview on the Brian Kilmeade radio show ends.
I'm just gonna keep an eye to see if NQ can hold this higher low. But I don't know about this one. Need to see a bit more before I'm convinced, personally. It's holding where we need, but again, I'm gonna give it a minute.
Oracle shares touch 5-month low after falling 7.4%.
Which one? Oh. This story about Marines going on a Mexican beach and planting signs is kind of crazy. Oh, they were contractors. So confused. What a crazy excuse. Changes in water depth and topography altered the perception of the international boundary's location. What? What? The Pentagon will coordinate with appropriate agencies to avoid confusion in the future. That's crazy. Have you guys read this? Military contractors invaded Mexico? Huge. They can't read GPS? Love that for us. Easy mistake. Expect a small bid here, and then we'll watch for an offer a bit higher on Nvidia into this red box. See if it holds. For a lower high to lead us down. We're watching to see if our pivot here now holds offer, and then we can start to move below, or if we find our bid here and can continue on our way. We'll see. Yes, retesting our pivot off of our PVZ. Should be our first risk off here across the board if you're playing long off our pivot on Nvidia. Or the rebid reversal line on NQ, or the rebid reversal line on ES. Right? Just back to our highs. I watch to see if Nvidia holds this zone or if we can flip it. I'm not sure about this divergence right now. Just waiting. New 15's opening in 10 seconds. We lose momentum on NVIDIA. This then offers into POCs on NQ and ES on the previous 15s, leading to a downside leg after we double topped on both. But if NVIDIA can pop highs, then we'll hold lows on NQ and ES and then do full rotations up, taking out highs. So that's why I'm a little unsure right now, is just which way are we going to head. Right, because like if this fails to take out highs and breaks and then pushes back below, with us failing to get back above our pivots here on ES and NQ, then that will lead to a failure, a lower high, and then a continuation down. Same thing on NQ and ES, right? But if NVIDIA can hold these, then we're basically trapping sellers down here at our lower edge, and then we'll take out highs, and then we'll continue higher, would be my guess. So this just feels a little trappy right now. So I have to wait to see which way we're going to go. Right now, it looks like we're going to trap the lows, but I want to make sure before I get back in anything. I guess you could try right now with a small size with a stop below, but I'm just going to wait. Feels a little iffy. Like if it was a little less volatile, I would try this again here with the stop at like 4K. Yeah, I'm just unsure. Like it looked very clear on NVIDIA and ES that we could continue lower, but because we're pushing highs, I just didn't trade it. Yeah, like I can show that on my on my chart itself. right? I just stopped out of my long of the failure to hold our sweeper. And then it's like, okay, like very clearly we're holding this as our resistance here at 60 from our upper balance off of a failure at our VWAP. And like that would have been a great short, but it's where I closed longs. So now I have to hold this and wait because I'm seeing a divergence on NVIDIA. So I don't want to play this, even though I do see this possible setup, but I know that NVIDIA is the literal market right now. So I just need to wait it out because there's potential that we trap on a look below and then we rotate back up if NVIDIA continues to lead. And then whatever is actually like burdening us right now goes down. But if NVIDIA actually does find an offer up at the highs, then we can then play the re-offer of this zone potentially, right? Like if this comes below and is starting to lead down, when NVIDIA actually tests that pivot, maybe we find another trade that's like here into this 10 to 20 and then we continue down. I don't know. But because there's a divergence, I didn't play it. I took profit into the area that we wanted to, but now I've got to wait. Like this is weird. I'm just gonna chill for a minute. Like, are we following my pathing on NQ and ES? Yes, but NVIDIA is still lagging. You should be moving stops down or taking some profit off on NVIDIA or on NQ here. Retesting our lows from our POC to value. Just watching to see how we interact as we push down into this. This is our ETH low to ADR. I don't have an answer for you until we see this start to lead. If we can get this offer here on NVIDIA, then we can start to continue down, break our lows. But we should expect a little bit of a reversion as we are in our reversion zone. So just watch our offers from above, see if we hold. Yeah, seems like there's someone still willing to take in decent size at 940. Watching our reversion signal here on NQ. My first risk here on NQ from our reversion signal into our last known seller. and NVIDIA just pushed highs. We did full rotation on NQ with NVIDIA diverging and holding higher lows. We're back to where I stopped out here at this 30 to 40. This is a great first risk off on ES as well. You played the downside leg, like our pathing played to a T. I didn't play the move because I didn't like the divergence on NVIDIA. I just played the bid once we got our reversion signal. Risk was pretty clearly defined there. Played that up instead. For those that are not in Discord. This is what I mean. It's like I see the trade on the sell side, at least PA wise on NQ, but with the NVIDIA divergence, I'd rather just play where that finds a bid again into our known low where we have this this buyer that was showing at 40s. And then it's just a rotation back up to the bottom of this balance here from these highs where we stopped at
BLS says
last.
there will be no October CPI report.
Targets above are just into this 100 and then 140 and then probably like 160. On runners, we'll see. Just a full rotation of this.
So the BLS says the consumer price index for November to be released on December 18th.
With how like volatile we are and how large our ranges are, like you do not need to be trading huge sized guys. Like it's you really do not. It is incredibly easy to make money right now with smaller size. Less leverage is kind of what I'm talking about. Just like, please. I mean, these rotations that we're doing, these are 100-point rotations. Like, even with MNQ, you're making like 600, 700 bucks on each rotation. Now you have to make $600 today, Surf.
The BLS say the October real earnings report is cancelled.
Whose earnings? I missed that. Oh, the October real earnings report is canceled from BLS.
The BLS say the November real earnings report to be released December 18th.
BLS being the Bureau of Labor Statistics, of course. So this is NVIDIA into VWAP. Just and NQ into VWAP as well, and our pivot.
The BLS say the third quarter employment cost index to be released December 10th.
I was reading something where they were trying to pin this market pullback on the BLS delay. I mean, I don't know, man. At this point, do you think anyone like if you have large cap, this is the way this is how I think about it. Is that literally everyone knows it's a bubble. The problem is that this market is too juicy not to have cash deployed in. So everything is a panic because you can't not play as we push all-time highs, right? You can't not be playing Nvidia, but everyone knows that at some point it's gonna pop, right? It's like crypto. We all know it's a scam, but you want to be in it because you know how much it could multiply. So it's like this game of hot potato where everyone is just trying to make as much as possible and then throwing it to the next person so they get burned and you don't. You know what I mean? So when the S&P 500 is also a game of hot potato where even like large capital feels like they have to be in, all of these like headlines, all of this nonsense, everyone is just trying to make their buck and also get out when they can. That's at least how it feels to me. It's like you have to be deployed, but everyone knows it's a bubble. So I don't know. I mean, maybe the pullback is caused from that, but like we also all know that this market is like horseshit. You know, like it's all a scam. But you still have to play it. Like you can't just like tell the people who are paying you to trade that you're not going to participate for a year until the market implodes. So it's a really difficult environment to trade for larger capital right now because it's like you have to be deployed or people will go elsewhere. But also you know that passing $100 billion to each company to try to create headline fluff is not a sustainable model. And at some point, like these things will actually have to be paid, and that liquidity is going to have to be found somewhere for all of these headlines. And I just I don't know. So maybe, but like I don't know. I think we're just it feels a little jumpy, right? People are very reactionary because everyone wants to be in, but is also scared shitless. And then it creates, a cascade once selling starts, just like when buying starts. It's a cascade, and there's a fear. People get liquidated, people want to close, right? And so price continues to go lower. There's so much leverage in this market that there's like our leveraged assets are leveraged. It's like multiple levels of leverage now. Like the market is so fluffed, man. Like I don't know. Every aspect of our market is tied to Nvidia and is illiquid. So like when people start selling, like the sell is very aggressive. Yes, you're exactly. You have to be deployed because if you aren't, you are losing money. Lots of money. Like it's both like this market is both the best opportunity to make money and also like one of the easiest markets to lose everything if things start to rotate back down and normalize. Like when you have the Nvidia CEO says stuff like this, like everyone knows we're in a bubble, including Nvidia. When Jensen says the whole world would have fallen apart if they missed earnings, it's like, maybe something's not okay. So yeah, I don't know. I think the market's just very sensitive right now. I just took a little bit more profit as we push into 140, 130, and then my last target is 160. Just like I talked about, 100s, 140, and then like 160. We're watching to see if we can flip this view up now on our 15 minute on NQ. My levels on ES aren't great. I need to fix these. I don't even know what to change them to because I don't mind them. It's just that we're gonna be wicking around them, which isn't really great for you guys, but I like where they are. Maybe this is a better visual. I just filled at 160. You can look to hold runners if you have the ability to for a push into 200. I'll look to re-enter with size if we can build here. But my last limit just filled. I think ES has room if we can build out this tail. But it like pretty tapered. I would like to see us push into ETHI and previous day POC off of a flip of this pivot. Our value holding. I don't know if we do it in a singular leg here or if we're going to need to retest and then go. But regardless, I expect balance to be achieved between this red zone and the yellow zone. As long as NVIDIA is continuing to push, then there's no short, in my opinion. I don't know how volatile we're going to be here, though, so I'm closed into 160. I'll wait. There's your 200. Dude, I'm telling you, like, this market is, like, juiced for MNQ right now. Absolutely juiced. Yes. Yes. Like, this is just MNQ from the
Ukraine
trades
Zelensky says he
that,
talked with Vice President J.D. Vance and Driscoll about American proposals on ending the war in Ukraine.
like, when we have, like, 100, 200 point ranges, like, it doesn't matter what you're trading. You're making a shitload of money. Like, what are we talking about? And that's with me getting stopped on both sides of the trade, right? Like, these are all the positions. Here for the YouTube enjoyers.
Bank of Japan's Masu says we can't. Bank of Japan's Masu says can't say what month, but we're close. It's according to Nikkei. Bank of Japan's Masu says close to decision to raise rates. The S&P 500 rises 0.7% to a session high, the Nasdaq 100 up 0.4%.
That wick on Nvidia was kind of crazy.
US stocks sustained gains, the Dow Jones up 1%.
Lord.
The Russell 2000 index gained 2%.
All right, now I got to figure out our next move. There's so much two-sided trading up here on NQ. This is such a gigantic pivot into our value high, POC value high. So much volume up here. You can see how like large this node is that we're building out. Just want to see us either like flip it, right, and then hold it as supportive, or really show a solid reoffer where then we test into this and then, you know, can rotate down off of it. Nvidia is like incredibly flat with this wicking in our low if someone's selling, it seems. It's a bit suspicious. Just kind of waiting it out, watching to see how he builds here. You know, we're still holding PSE, so I can't like want to short this because right now it's just showing us that we want to trade in a range and build out this node. But whatever reaction we get off of, you know, the this LVN below us, if this is going to be a liquidity dip and then we bid back up like so, allowing for a continuation, or if we're going to look above into our tail, right, and then fail and then look back through, we can play something like that. But right now, like I'm just looking at this area as what it is, right? It's balance on this node. So we just want to see how we interact in our tails, right, where our LVN is off of this high volume node, and then watch to see if we trap in those highs, or if we can make it supportive and then break out of this. And again, like we'll probably use Nvidia as our gauge to let us know if we have weakness or strength in the market. This is just an uptrend, right? So we don't want to be too bearish, but we want to be aware that there is someone very clearly taking in size up here, and that we could easily rotate back down through if our balances don't hold and we then, you know, don't trap into our lows, and then we just reoffer it instead, creating a rotation then through. So I'm just very aware of these lows. That's all I want to be keeping an eye on. Same thing with Nvidia as we retrace this wick. Let's see what we can do down here. I don't want to be like, again, like too bearish just because we're in an overall uptrend and we're just have come back to a major pivot, and of course there's a seller here. Now we just need to see what happens. So far, it's just a look above and fail. Still waiting. NVIDIA flat, so it's the same thing as the lows, but now into highs. Just watching. ES looks a bit more structured to me, with us holding our pivot very clearly and making the higher low at 605. We have a target above into 622. I'm not in this trade though. I'm still just waiting for NVIDIA to figure it out. Again, I think we're just building out this node up here. I think that anything that looks up into this tail is probably going to just revert, personally. Oops. Again, like I think that this is our current range, and that any push into these tails, into here or into here, are just going to revert, and we're going to balance here in between, if that's a better visual. So I'm just chilling until we figure it out. Volatile chop is what we can call it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you'll get that in a second here. Like, NVIDIA just needs to chill sideways and we go up. Enough juice for the 40s? I mean, yeah, like if we can flip, like that's just ADR, right? Like that doesn't seem unreasonable. I don't know if we do it in one go though. Like I think that this 20 to 30 area is definitely going to hold for a bit. Like I think this, like I don't want to say like I'm incredibly confident, but I think like this is
US
like
stocks
we build
extend
out
gains
this
with the
this
S&P
node.
up 1% now.
Like this just needs to build out more. I could be wrong, and then I missed out on this trade, which is fine, but it just kind of feels like we need to build out this tail a bit. But overall move is up, yeah. This is NVIDIA's 30-second opening range that we're pushing into here. It's resistance. I'm still just waiting for a better trade that I have a bit more clarity on personally.
US stocks extend gains with the Nasdaq up 1%.
Yeah. I don't know, like if we can pull back and hit these and then retouch them, like sure I'll go long, but I'm not longing a candle that looks like this. I just can't. That'll be all right. There's potentially an offer here into 60-70. Watch for them to try to defend this for a lower high. Off of that sweeper down. I'm just keeping an eye on it. This is what I was talking about earlier in Discord. It's like once we see sweepers like this, I then look to play off around these. Especially when we have markets coinciding again with dips. Like it's just immediately profitable off of stuff like that. Like we don't even need it to continue for it to make money. You see what I mean? Like, I just, it's the same thing. Like, I don't need to, we just wait for the market to have confluence, and then we play off the sweeper down, and then we just play it. Like, I don't know. I mean, this is still an uptrend. Like, this is still just like nothing's happening other than it's flagging. But like, there's very clearly like a trade that was there, and then we just are taking profit as we push down, and our stop can go to break even now if it wants, or you can just keep it at this this pivot that was made, and then we watch to see if we can breach above, and if we do, then we can flip our position, and as long as it's holding, we can stay in it. But like, the overall uptrend is still here. But you play it because of the weakness on NVIDIA with ES and on NQ, where we're expecting us to at least rotate back down to pivots. And like, ES is still good, right? Like, we're still holding where we need to. But if you ever want to like find setups like that, that's usually what I'm looking for. And then I use that area as just like an area that I'm watching then on DOM as like my risk of like, are we absorbing in here? Do I see that seller positioning there? If so, then scalp it down, you know. Then all of a sudden you're in a trade that you're expecting only to be in for a minute or two, with the potential for runners for continuation. So let's see if we flip or if it holds. Crazy that 2 billion has been liquidated so far in crypto over the last 24 hours. Like, this is what I was saying before to Sauce. Like, our markets are so interconnected, and everyone is so just like overly leveraged in every aspect, and it's all connected. So when like things go awry, like it affects every aspect of the market. So if this is the yen trade again, like this, like if they're liquidating crypto because of that, like it's also affecting our regular markets because the banks are in all of these markets, and so like if they need liquidity, they will take it. It's so awkward now trying to trade with how overly leveraged in every aspect of every market we are as a society. Everything is so interconnected. And like the whole point of Bitcoin was that it was like not connected to fiat, and now it is fiat. All right, let's see if we can flip here. ES testing our wick high, NVIDIA testing our highs, NQ testing our sweeper. Let's see if we can build and flip. Looks good so far. Immediately have made up my stop off of the flip. Take your first profit off into our wick highs, and then leave runners for continuation in the opposite direction. And then we see if we can hold on retest. So this has this can go one of two ways. This can either be a look above and trap, or then we'll reoffer this and get the same trade again. This is where our bid will now sustain, and we'll look for it to continue upward. So keeping an eye on that now. Oops. I'm not sold. I think this is offer, but we'll see. We have 50 seconds till new 50, till new 15 minutes. I don't know which way this is gonna go. The offer is trying to move price down. It's trying to step, but this is still just an overall uptrend. We're just waiting. We're holding where we need to, but like open a new 15 can be incredibly volatile here. New 15s opening at POC of previous candle. Offer still sitting at the 70 to 80 on NQ. NVIDIA retesting its last low. Yes, still maintaining POC, no change. NQ a bit more volatile. Just watching to see if NVIDIA breaches. Just held our value low, previous candle on NQ. Still holding our pivot here at this like 55 to 70, but I don't know. Not loving it. Want to see a sweeper step us down pretty fast, or it just feels like we're gonna trap lows and then pop highs. Trade is playing, but I want a bit more. I think it still is a bit jumpy, so I think it's a fine risk off if you're playing off this 55 to 70, but you should take off your first risk here, and then let's see what we can do with it. I'm still not sold. Again, just move stops down a bit. Can be very volatile here, I think. You're playing off of the 55 70 area. It's full rotation here. We'd expect a lower high here into this sweeper at this 40 to 50 if we're going to continue down, or we'll probably flip. Right, where we just saw this candle. Just keep a good eye. See if we get that lower high. Hold of our lows, reattempted our highs, flipped. Watching our highs here again. There's a guy trying to absorb into this 80 still. This guy needs to step out of the way. Just tagged out a few into our highs off of our hold and flip of our 70. See if we can get any continuation or if they'll continue to absorb. I think we're okay, but we'll see. We're just trying to eat through this liquidity that's present here, right? To these highs. This entire area was a liquidity area on our sell down. So we have to just eat through it before we can continue higher. They're sure taking their time here, huh?
Putin and Russia's Security Council discuss U.S. peace proposals. Putin says that I received the US's plan for Ukraine. Putin says, I think that it can be a basis for final. So again, I think it can be a basis for final resolution. Text wasn't discussed with the US. Again, Putin says, I think it can be a basis for final resolution. Text wasn't discussed with the US, and Ukraine is against it. Romano, Putin is currently, okay, it looks like it's a recorded video that the Russian TV is playing. We'll put out the video on the site for you anyway.
Bro, get me out of here.
Putin says we're ready for peaceful resolution. Putin adds that the details of the plan need to be discussed. We're ready for a peaceful resolution, but the details of the plan need to be discussed.
Dude, Grok is saying that Elon never said that Trump was in the Epstein files.
So we have to put out the correct link to the video of where Putin is speaking.
What is
So
going on with
Putin
Grok?
is convening a Security
It's
Council
so
meeting.
scuffed.
Putin says that we're ready to continue fighting if there's no agreement with Ukraine.
Flip of our seller back to bid, testing into our liquidity here at 95, NVIDIA new highs, ES holding, no change. Also trying to flip our most recent offer. Retesting highs, what a choppy area, Jesus. Get me out. Just break.
So it looks like the feed's cut out from the live video from RT. We'll see if we can try and find anything else, but I think that's what we're going to get.
Hello, Friday enjoyers.
Yo.
There are not many people enjoying Friday.
I think most people made their money already. It's a good morning.
Good.
Or they're on YouTube. Like 30 people on YouTube.
Oh, that's nice as well. Hello, YouTube. Wow. That is actually a good thing, because 9 months or a year ago, people would not leave, and then we'd get DMs of, why did I lose all the money I made? So
Yeah. Oh, we keep shifting these pivots, but they're nice scalps, but I have a feeling it's screwing some people. But I'm just like playing the sweeper down and then the flip. And now we're just like holding. NVIDIA is pushing up into pivot. We'll watch to see what happens here into 182. Potentially for loss of momentum here on NVIDIA. Just gonna have to wait and see. ES and NQ holding higher lows though. Overall trend is good, but very wicky.
Yeah. Sup, Skinta? How are you, man? Well, that's a curse and a blessing, you know?
That's a target here on ES off of our flip. So again, to me, this is just, it's a very volatile market, but I'm just playing off of these sellers that step in, sweep price below. This gives you an offer for a scalp down, and then when we flip back, then becomes a bid for rotations up. It's the same thing on NQ. It's the same thing that we did below. Sweeper either defends and holds on reoffer, or we'll rotate through, and then we'll use that as a supportive test. Is there any follow through yet in this market? No, right? It's just watching for NVIDIA lost momentum, and then we play that. But yeah, we just gotta have to wait it out. There hasn't been a great sustained entry yet that we can stay in for continuation higher. Just chop, but volatile chop. Money can be made there. You just have to be willing to take off. Right, like even this is still like 8 points on ES. Like you'd be happy with that on any other day. The volatility is just crazy. Spread it's huge, so you can make money even in a choppy market just by playing pivots. Scalp it off, let it be.
Ultra rare Pepe.
Same as before, sweeper down, offer holds, a lower high, push below. You have to wait for NVIDIA momentum to come back. Again, like this is tradable, but I don't For a lot of you, I think it's a bit too fast, so I'm just not talking. But like structurally, these trades do make sense. I'm just waiting for a larger break before I start discussing things so that you guys don't get trapped. About to get an hour of dojis. Love that.
Hell yeah.
Recovery of our pivot bid, rotation back up into this supply. Wow, it's so awful. Back to Twitter I go.
Doji Dojo. Holy.
IMF's number 2 official CATS will travel to China to join a mission conducting an annual review of the nation's economy.
It's crazy how miserable the market gets at 12.
Yeah, it's been like, well, I guess like 2 weeks. It's been really bad. Well, it is that time of the year where like getting these extended vacays and then people are like positioning for end of year garbo.
How's it been after 2? I haven't looked. Alright.
It's been like we still get like the 2 Eastern to 3 Eastern where it's like we'll get a couple trades.
Yeah.
But with these, like yesterday with the trend day, we just like balanced, right? And
Mm.
it's like you can trade the balance, but with the trend, it's like, do you want to, kind of thing. Yeah, we'll see how. Well, next week is gonna be Garbo, but we'll see how December is.
minutes away from the top of the hour, the Baker Hughes total recount prior 549, or recount prior 417. Zelensky says Kiev and the US and EU teams are to work over a joint plan.
I need coffee or a nap.
Nap time.
I can't nap. I at the least wait for it to be dark in 2 hours. Can't wake up to darkness. It's too depressing. I need to survive for like 4 more hours before I can nap.
There you go, Sauce.
By Mr. Go to begin the Baker Hughes total recount. Prior 549, oil recount prior 417.
Another volatile bounce on ES, flip of our short-term mid pivot. NVIDIA still just rotating sideways. There is nothing here. Other than another doji. Hell yeah.
True. Yeah, sure. Surely, Sauce.
Video back into our lows here off of rejecting our
Should
highs.
expect Baker Hughes data.
ES back to lows. NQ doing literally nothing. Everything is just sideways.
We need liquidity back.
We still have a little bit of room and oversold before we've like, you know, our quote unquote on at a bottom, but I would expect some relief as we come into these soon on our oscillators on the higher time frame. Just looking at our percent stock oscillators right now.
Total recount 554, 554. Oil recount 419, 419.
Oh, thank God we're finally curling. Get me out of here. Back to our low pivots on NQ and ES. Of another failure on rotation down. NVIDIA is starting to push. Let's see what we can do down here. Think we can see push down into here. See if we can flip our pivots.
Yeah, so this liquidity on 15 that just got taken.
I expect a bit of a bounce, and then we look for a retest at our PVZ here. Look for an offer into this sweeper, into like 20, 22 on ES. Maybe one more leg down, but I'm watching for this. Same thing here on NQ. Let's retest our ETH high. We'll see. Yeah, I'm looking there. This bounce is to be expected. It's our previous value on PVZ for NQ, right? So it's just our value high retest. I watch to see if ETH high rejects or not, where the seller stepped in to try to push price down, right? Where we have this liquidity on footprint into like this 90, 300 area. See what they do here. I mean, it's already profitable. See if we get more though. No break of lows yet. Break of lows, great first risk off. You are playing off of the re-offer that we have pathed. NVIDIA no new low, so again, you want to be at least taking off your first there. If NVIDIA can start to lead down, then we'll get some follow through. Until then, this is just NQ bouncing 30-second opening range high at 50. We breached through 50s. I'd expect a re-offer of 50, like seller stepping down and then trying to defend that. And then a rotation down to 170 if 250 can hold offer on retest. I'm from a look below. But we haven't gotten there yet. But basically, if the buyer can't be found here to sustain and we flip, we should expect an offer to rotate like this and then one last leg like so into this LVN somewhere in there. But we got to get below this first, or this will just be where the bid rests.
Seller sitting on 15 now for ES. Yeah, buy pocket before.
Shortly expecting results from the Fed reverse repo facility.
Pushing down into target here. If you're playing off of our 90, or if you're playing off of our 50, 60, this is target as we push down into 10. If we can flip below 10s, this 10 to 200 area, our secondary pivot that we've drawn out, then we can rotate down to like 150, 170 area. But keep an eye, NVIDIA has a bit more room, but I think we expect a secondary little bounce here. As we push into 179, I think that we see a little bit of a lift again, and then we'll see a rotation down to VWAP and POC down here at 178, the low. But if we don't get this, then we just go straight down to VWAP and that POC. I'm just waiting to see. It's a very clear downtrend on NVIDIA, so as long as that's lasting, there's nothing to really worry about. This is our pathing and target on ES into our lower pivot into ETH high. So that did play. We're now waiting to see what happens here. Again, I think this is a great risk off. And I think we can expect one more leg down, but we should expect a bit of a bid here at our 110, or our 210 on NQ. With NVIDIA finding that bid.
$12 counterparties take $2.503 billion at the Fed reverse repo operation.
I'm just watching this now, Sauce. Gotta flip this, or they're just gonna continue to absorb into 10. Hopefully, NVIDIA reoffer and lower high will lead to that push down for that final leg if we're gonna get it, or this is just gonna be the low short term. So we bounced our ORM and our daily POC on NQ, rotating back up into our value high here, as well as our PVZ value at 250, 260. NQ, right, like that's that rotation. Now we'll watch to see if we can hold this, our offer, and then rotate down for that full target, or if this is going to fail and then we rotate back up. On the 15-minute, it's just retesting POC of previous candle so far. We're watching to see if this can flip or not. Should be moving with NVIDIA, of course, so we'll just watch that. ES, again, reacted off our pivot low, held, bid, looks like it wants to rotate back up. We've got a little bit more room on ES to test as we push into 15, 16-ish, right? We'll watch to see how we interact into there, see if we put in a lower high or not, but expecting just a volatile rotation off of NVIDIA finding a bid again. Back to our main pivot here. It's immediate rejection off our POC of previous candle so far on ES and NQ into our main pivot. Watching to see what happens here, if we get a bid at a higher low, or if offer is able to just fully rotate us back down. NVIDIA lost momentum as well, coinciding with this. So now you have to pay attention to see if after this look below and fail, if now NVIDIA can hold a higher low off of our pivot and then bid. Just watching to see which way this flips, right? Price should move with it regardless. So same thing on NQ, watching this 50 to 60 area, seeing if we can find a bid that flips this, or if offer is able to hold, and then we can rotate back through. All right. I don't know if I have the will.
The mental fortitude. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. And we'll see. This might be it for me. That was a good last trade. I don't know. Like, do I want to sit here in dojis for another hour before we get the next leg? Like, I don't know. I do not know. Let me just clean this up before I dip out, I guess. Hold a POC of previous candle here on NQ, rotating into our liquidity above, watching our 90 to 310. Offer sticks there, then there's no change. This is just a look for fresh liquidity. Offer steps back down, and then we rotate through, trapping into this. We're watching to see if we can flip this and then go higher off of it. Keep an eye on our NVIDIA pivot as well. Still holding, no change. Full rotation on ES from a hold of our lows. Watching our look above. We're trying to build here. See if they can get some follow through for the reversal. As long as NVIDIA is running, should be able to keep going. I'd love to see a retest of our 300 area first before we head to 60, but it doesn't have to happen if NVIDIA just wants to push straight to target. We'll see. And again, just keep an eye on this pivot. Like, this will still play on reoffer. If it fails to sustain above, we'll just play this back. Same pathing as before. Blah, blah, blah. All right, I think that's probably clean enough. Retesting our edge now. See if there's anything here viable. Yeah, have a great weekend, Bear. Glad you made some money, man.
Misstatement. German Chancellor Merz held a call with Trump late on Friday. Merz spoke on the phone about the US peace plan for Ukraine.
I mean, that's insane how volatile we are. Like, being able to, like, just scalp 20 points off of 300 in 5 seconds is so nice, man.
Yeah, it's like olden times, minus the liquidity.
Yeah, just need to be willing to play first touches after, like, for reoffers and rebids, and then just scalp it. And, like, if you get a runner, awesome. If not, then you take your stop on your remaining contracts. But it is nice, I will say that. You just have to have a bit of conviction.
The Fed extends the stress test comment period until February 21st, 2026.
Retesting highs, great risk off here, 40 points from 30. Again, I'd love to see just this rotation into 60 to 80 for your final risk off. This will be my last trade. And then I'm going to dip, go get some food. Just took off one more into our 50-60. You probably just leave this as a runner. I don't know. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to close my last. Just chill. I mean, it's just crazy because the trades don't even like look great, but like the points feel good. But because of just like the range, it's crazy. I don't even have to like do anything crazy with this to. Right, like we're just playing the rebid, and then just playing the rotation up. But like even like those first risk offs are like 20 to 25 points, you know, like that's crazy. And then this is just a 60-point trade in like a minute and a half off of a bid. Like, okay, sweet.
The ES like 3-minute chart looks like it's like 10 points of range, and then it's like, oh, I'm looking at 200 points.
Yeah,
here.
it's insane. Like it's like really skews everything.
Yes.
All right. You have a great weekend. I will talk to you later. I
a good
downloaded that Chinese game, but
I haven't
I
played
haven't
it yet.
Yeah, I haven't either. But I heard
Well,
that it's like mostly single player, but some
Yes.
multiplayer. I don't know. It's like queue-based multiplayer. I don't know. I don't really get it.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't played too much. I haven't really talked to like, I think some of my buddies are still playing it a lot, but it's basically what you said. I think like the MMO like aspects are like a keyword
Yeah.
almost. You know, like it's not actually an MMO. There like is an open world, but it seems like a hub.
That's
kinda
it.
thing,
Seems like a bunch of like they're like a modge podge of like 30 different games, and then gotcha clothing, and then like a hub for multiplayer. But then mostly it's like single player boss fights or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and it looks good. Like even like Baggins right now is still streaming. He's like 2K people watching him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll give it a try this weekend. But all right, peace.
I might on Sunday.
All right, sweet.
All right, goodbye everybody. Well,
Later.
goodbye, Sig. I'm staying here.
Fario's done.
Yeah,
All right,
later.
peace. Goodbye, YouTube. I will see you all Monday. Enjoy your weekend.